Okay, 13 says, they give us a formula for f, they ask for the derivative. So really, oh, wait a minute, that's interesting. F is one formula. They want the derivative of this thing. Okay. On your golden notes, the rule you need to begin with is the chain rule. So on your golden notes, left side, about halfway down. The rule you have to start with is the chain rule. It's right here. We've practiced it before. It's been a while. Right there. Okay? So I'm going to use that rule. So the derivative of f of something is f prime of the same something multiplied by the d over dx of that something. That's the beginning step. You want me to talk more about that? I would call this a high priority problem because it's really not that hard to get good at. You just talk a little bit, and it does get tested frequently. Okay? Keep going. Next rule is the ln rule. So this I don't do anything with yet. I just write down f prime of ln of x. Remember, this doesn't mean f prime multiplied by ln of x. It's the ln plugged into the f prime function. The derivative of the natural log is 1 over the something multiplied by derivative of the something. Again, use good notation. It will prevent errors. So now I have f prime of ln of x multiplied by 1 over x. Question? Please, Mark. Anytime I'm taking the derivative of a function, well, let's back up. Okay, I teach calculus in a slightly different way than a lot of other teachers, but I found it to be a lot quicker, a lot faster, a lot more effective. Like students just perform better. So all the rules I've given you on the golden notes, they all actually incorporate the chain rule. I just did it for you. So whenever you're using any of these rules here, they're all using the chain rule. All of those. You just don't really realize it, so you don't worry about it. Where you're going to have to use the chain rule is when you're encountering something that's like in terms of f or in terms of g, something generic. Then you have to specifically use the chain rule itself. Did that answer your question? Yeah. 2 points. So again, if I'm taking the derivative of the natural log of x squared, without really knowing it, you're actually using the chain rule. But don't worry about it because that's what you practice. Just do it. But here I've got to take the derivative of some function called f. I don't know what f is. That's when I have to use the explicit chain rule. So, other questions? Okay, this is not one of the answers. So here what they're testing you on is what does f prime of ln of x mean? I want to pay you. Hands up. What does f prime of ln of x mean? What does this mean? This is not a calculus idea, by the way. This is just a math idea. We learned it prior to calculus. What does f prime of ln of x mean? Think with me. Don't just watch. Go, Brindley.
It's the derivative of that first function, like at point ln of x.
Nice. Yeah, it's literally take this formula. How many knew that? Point 2 for Brindley. Take that formula, go find f prime. So hands up again. What is f prime of any x? This is f of any x. So what's f prime of any x? Come on, hands. You can do that. 2 more hands would be great. Let's go, Paul. Raise your hand if you knew it. point, 2 for Paul. Question? So now we do what Brindley said. We're supposed to find f prime when the x value is ln of x. So this thing becomes, don't forget the 1 over x piece, this is going to become 2, plug in ln of x, plus 2, and all of that has to be multiplied by 1 over x, like so. Questions? Please.
So at the beginning, could you have just plugged in ln of x or in that initial f of x equation and then found the derivative of that?
Yes. 2 points for Isaac. Now, one thing I would recommend, Isaac, the reason I didn't do it that way is because I have encountered problems where that isn't possible. And so I thought it better to go through using the explicit chain rule here, just so you're prepared for those other problems. This one, either way, would have worked. Okay. There we go. Back to here. I just need to see if I can find my answer. 2 ln x plus 2. A. Please, Dave.
So I get like the process you did, but when you first saw the problem, what should I be thinking to know? Like, oh, chain rule. Like, how will I know what meant?
2 points for that. So are you comfortable that as you read the problem, you discover that what they're asking you to find is a derivative of something?
Yes.
Yeah, all eyes on me. This is a really good question. Okay. If they ask for the derivative of something, it's hard to say 100%, but 99%. It's one of those rules on the left side of the page. One of them. And like I said to Miles, the only rule that works is that chain rule, because all the other rules are for specific functions like sine, cosine, e to the x, etc. The only rule in that list that deals with f or g of something is the chain rule. So that's where I have to begin. I hope that helps. Allison. Yep. Let's have a question here. We're starting to do the problem.
Why can't you do the derivative of f and then just plug ln of x into that? So you have like the 2x plus 2. Why can't you just plug ln of x right into the x right there?
Gotcha.
I kind of worked through it and it's not right, but
why not?
yeah,
I
but
get you.
it kind of feels like it should be.
I agree. 2 points. Mark them. All eyes on the board. This is a really good question. Look. They try to fool you with exactly what you said. Let me see if I can explain, and if it doesn't, you keep talking. Okay, this notation right here, it's all about order of operation. Okay, that notation is telling you, this is what Isaac noticed. You need to take the function f, plug into that function ln of x. Like first. So you take this formula, plug in the ln of x, and then apply the derivative operator. That's what that notation means. You with me? That's just what it means. You have to just memorize that that's what it means. Now we did it a different way because the chain rule allows that. It says, oh no, you can just say, here's f of something. We don't even care what the something is. The chain rule works. Just apply it. Okay? What you were thinking to do is this. You wanted to take f prime of ln of x. Like you wanted to go find the f prime formula first, then plug in the ln, right?
Yeah.
These two are not the same. Keep looking at, really, you got to make sure to make sense of these two are not the same. This notation says go find the f prime formula first, then plug in ln. This notation says put ln into f, then take a derivative. So it's order of operation. This one is the same as this. those are the same. Because this says take the derivative of f, once you found the derivative, then plug in the ln. Is that helping?
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. Which one, Allison?